In this assignment, we're going to create in AutoCAD the the diamond CHS symbol that you see in front of you on the screen. Looking at this drawing, we've got dimensions provided. I'm looking at width. Total width of the CHS is 12.5. The height is 13.0. And then other dimensions that relate. What I will do first, I'm going to let's check a couple of things. Check our object snaps. I like to have all the boxes checked. That way I'm not restricted in my movements with my line work. And I'm going to check units. Okay, so where we want them. I'm going to take a line. Ortho mode is on. When this is highlighted blue, ortho mode is on. I can draw perfectly horizontal and vertical lines, which I want to do to begin with. I'm going to draw a line 12.5 wide, 13 high, 13.0 high, 12.5 coming back, 13.0. Notice that I start my line and then you can't see my hands work, but I'm punching in the numerical value of the length of that line. I don't guess. I don't drag my line till I think I'm there. I punch it in with the numerical keypads. That way I know with certainty that it's that long. Alright, so I'm going to take another line, find this midpoint, which is the green triangle. I'm just going to pull a line straight down. This will be this center line. So I'm going to do another thing. I'm going to change my line type. I have a center line loaded. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to change that to a different color. So with this highlighted, I'm coming up to the color wheel in the properties section. Object color. I'm going to change it to green. So I click on it, I hit enter, and I have a green center line. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a line from this point. Looking at this, I'm at 1.5 width. I want to go half of a 1.5. Well, I like to think of it, half of $1.50 is how much? 0.75. Then I'm going to draw a line vertical to the bottom. I'm going to take this line and I'm going to offset it. Let's see, I've got to do a little math. I'm going to offset it to this point here. So 5.3 minus 1.5, that's too hard to figure this early in the morning. 5.3 minus 1.5. I'm coming over 3.8. So I'm going to do a simple offset of 3.8 using my keypad, my numerical keypad. I'm punching in 3.8. Alright. Something's not right. Okay, class, good morning. Here's what we're doing today. We're going to draw the diamond CHS now. Looking at it, it appears very complicated. We're going to take it step by step. Step by step. Okay, so you'll follow along, and the end product will be a diamond CHS, just like this, just like our official high school diamond CHS is. Alright, so I'm starting with the vertical green center line here. Now, how did I do that? I'm going to show you how to do the green center line here on the horizontal. So let's take a line command, line it up here. I'm going to pull it straight across. Well, it's not green and it's not a center line. It's just an object line and it's white. So I'm going to come up here. I'll show you how to turn it green first. Take this line. I'm going to shift it over just there. Right there, so it's centered on that. With it highlighted, It's highlighted when it's blue. Come up here and change the color. I click the color wheel. Note, the properties section is where we can change our lines in appearance and color and weight. So we're going to click the color, click green, hit enter, and that's how you change the color. Alright, so I'm going to highlight this again. I'm going to change it to a center line. Here, if you hover, you'll see line type. I'm going to click on that. I already have the center line loaded. I'm going to load another type of line so that you understand how to do it. If you don't see the line that you want here, you click Other. You won't see it here. You'll see it, the word Load. So you can go in this section right here, Available Line Types. Looking at the line types, you can find the one that you want. So here are center lines. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to click OK. So we have a center line, we have another center line. Now, I'm going to use the one I had loaded originally, but I wanted to show you how to load it. And there you see the one we loaded. There's a different one. Hey, I'm going to go with this one, the one we just loaded. I like it better. I'm going to click on that. So I want to change this one now to reflect this line, this center line. So I'm going to highlight it, click on that, and there we changed the line. Alright, so here we are. I want to line this up with this drawing. You're not going to have to do this, but I want to do it, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come to the inside edge here and draw this H first. And I see the width is 1.5. It straddles the center line, so I know that I need to go half of that number because there's the center line. This is perfectly, the H is perfectly centered on it. So half of 1.5 is 0.75. And just as a note, most of your drafting is done in your mind before you even draw a line. So you have to think through what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then you're able to create the work. So I want to extend this line down the length of the H, and I see that the dimension is here, 13. So I want to go down 13. Using my numbered keypad, I go 13.0 and I hit enter. There's my H. Now, I need to figure out what is the width of this part of the H. Gosh, I got to do some math. Really? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this number, which is the total width of the H, straddling the center line, so I have to take 1/2 of that number, 5.3 divided by 2. Well, that's hard to do in the head, Mr. Coleman. So I'm going to do it with the calculator. 5.3 divided by 2 is 2.65. Alright, so I'm going to come over 2.65. Oops, no, I'm not thinking right. Then I have to take 2.65 and subtract this gap right here. This half of this gap is the total width of the gap is 1.5. So half of 1.5 is 0.75. So 2.65 minus 0.75, 1.9 is the 1.9 is the width of this leg here of the H. So 1.9. I'm going to go up to this point right here. So touch that line, come across, I'm at the exact length. Alright, now let's find out where this part of the C is. This part of the C, total width of the CHS is 12.5. So half of 12.5 is 6.25. I can do that in my head. So 6.25 from the center line. From the center line. So I'm getting a line. 6.25. Now I want to draw from there. I'm right here now on my drawing. I'm going to come up to this point. Half of 2. Easy. 1.0. Then I'm going to connect this point to this point. So I'm going to just move my cursor to that point, left click. Alright, now I'm going to, it's not a straight line though. It's an R 15.5. That means a radius 15.5. Okay? I could do a type of circle there, or I could do an arc. And the type of arc, if you'll click on the down arrow, you'll find that there's a lot of different options. Which one do I choose? Well, we're given a dimension, a radius dimension. If you look at that again, R stands for radius, 15.5. I'm going to find the arc that gives me a radius. I don't want the angle, I want the radius. So start, end, and radius. What I've discovered is that when you pick that, you need to draw to the right. So you click on the left point, you go to the right, and you'll see that the radius pull is down. Let's take our ortho mode off for a second, which is function 8. However, I've got to click my function key on my keypad. No, that's not it. Function 8, there we go. Now I can see that move a little better. I want to click 15.5 now. There it is. Alright. Quickly, I want to remove that. Now watch. I'm going to take this and this. I'm going to do a quick mirror. It's asked, I highlighted these two. I came over here, I clicked the mirror symbol. Then I'm coming back, it's saying specify first point of mirror line. That's going to be the center line. I'm going to drag it from the C to the center point. And click. I do not want to erase source object, I want to keep it. Alright, now we're not done yet. Okay, I want to basically take this information. Here's what I want to do first. I want to get rid of some of that H to help us identify what we're doing here, what we have. Highlight everything. I'm going to click trim. I'm going to get rid of this part and this part. Then I'm going to highlight this and this. I'm going to click delete. I'm going to also get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Okay, I'm going to then create an arc right here. I'm not going to use the radius, I'm going to use direction because I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to go from here to here and come up with what I think is my angle. I'm going to go to 75 on the angle. Left click. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do, if we look right here, we can see that our offset between our H and our adjacent letter is 0.3. So quickly I'm going to do an offset of 0.3. I'm going to get rid of this line, the vertical of the C. Oops. And delete. Now we're stopping the video right here. We'll start on the next one.